Hey everyone, Amanda here. Today I wanted to talk about how to properly care for your flute. There have actually been a lot of questions about this, and I really want all of you to take care of your flutes this week and in all the weeks. So I'm just going to go over today in this video how to put it away and clean it. And that might sound like information that you probably already know, but even if you feel like you've got it down pat, could be useful, it might learn a couple of things. You're looking at somebody who's been playing flute for 20 years, and I've taken my flute in for injuries more times than I can count. It's a scary amount, but everything from the flute breaking inside of its case has happened to me, from just like dropping it or witnessing people drop it, and crazy things can happen. So how to put it away without injury. First things first, your case. Ideally, your case, if you give your flute, like let's say your flute is inside your case and you give it a tiny little shake, you shouldn't hear it clanking around. If you can hear it clanking around inside your case, it's probably not snug enough in there. Ideally, you want to be able to sort of drop, I'm not going to do it now, but drop your case a little bit. Don't test that out. But in theory, like let's say you're holding your case and you drop it, or something happens, the case is there to protect it. It should ideally do an okay job protecting it. There have been times where I had a different case where my flute didn't really fit into it snugly, and I had the case sitting on a chair, closed, and it slid onto the floor about 2 feet, and the rods on my foot joint bent. I'm like, wow, this shouldn't happen. And the same exact thing has happened to me with this case before, and because my flute is really snug in here and doesn't move around, like the flute has been totally fine. So I feel comfortable taking this on airplanes. I feel comfortable like taking it in the car when it's like the car is going over bumps and stuff. I feel comfortable biking with this in my backpack. So anyway, make sure that your flute doesn't move around. That's the first thing. Next thing is have it on a table, a flat surface. I don't recommend having it in your lap. If you do have it in your lap, just make sure, obviously when you're in band rehearsal, you need to have it in your lap. Like where else are you going to put it? Just make sure that your legs are really like stable and flat. Sometimes I have to sort of like, because I'm really short, like lift my like heels off the ground to sort of like make it possible for my case to lie there flat without sliding off my lap. But if that's not possible for you, you can always be that person who stands up, puts this on their chair, and then puts their instrument away. So open up your case. You can't really see mine, but you don't need to. And I'm just going to put my flute away so that we can go over cleaning. Okay, so for cleaning, you should have a few different things. First things first is a cleaning rod. So your cleaning rod ideally shouldn't be made of metal. I find metal to be really scary because technically you can scrape the inside of the flute with the metal cleaning rod if you don't like wrap it perfectly. And I'm not like expecting myself to get it perfect every time. I'm expecting myself to sometimes not wrap it very well and clean my flute anyway because I'm human and I don't want to accidentally scratch my flute. So mine is made out of wood, but you can also use a plastic one. That is totally fine as well. So onto the cleaning cloth. This cloth is a 100% cotton handkerchief. So the reason you use cotton is because it's absorbent, and you want to absorb the stuff on the inside. I definitely have seen people who really like to use those like felt sticks that I think like these flute shops sell those, like, and you put them in and it like cleans all the nooks and crannies and stuff. I personally find that those don't take enough moisture out of the flute and the flute's tarnish faster on the inside. So I like to absorb all of the moisture I can after I'm done playing flute. So I wrap this around the top, twist it, and then I just go through each of the pieces. If you're finding that this doesn't go in your flute, if it gets stuck, you might need to cut it or find something a little bit thinner. And sometimes I even like to go through twice. I did practice a fair amount just now, so twist it a little bit as it goes through to really pick up more stuff. Then I finish with my head joint. For whatever reason, I do my keys first. I think because I care about getting the moisture out of the key parts more than my head joint. But for the head joint, just twist it around a little bit. And there you go. Last thing I like to do, and this is because I have a silver flute, and because if I don't do this, it starts to tarnish on me. Anyway, I like to take my microfiber cloth, not a silver polish cloth. This is just a microfiber cloth that they sell at flute stores. They pretty much always, when you buy a flute, give you one of these to have with the flute. And then I like to start cleaning it. Oh, my head joint is starting to tarnish a little bit. No matter, it's okay. But obviously I didn't do a good job cleaning my flute this weekend. Okay, so anyway, I'm just going to wipe off all of the fingerprints, chapstick, grease from my hand, all those things that get on your flute that can lead to tarnishing. I'm just going to get all that off. I like to wipe down all three pieces. Just be gentle when you get to the keys. If you have a fully gold flute, you probably don't have to do this as much because you're not going to get tarnishing that happens. But obviously it still keeps your flute looking really shiny. And yeah, I always feel good when I take better care of my flute. So after I've done that, I'm literally done. I'm just going to close my case and be done with it. If this is feeling a little bit wet, I recommend putting it in a place where it can dry, to prevent mold and keeping it nice and absorbent. I like to wash these cloths every few weeks or so just to keep them nice and fresh, and because I'm aware that they're cleaning off dirt from my flute. So over time, they're going to collect dirt and need to be cleaned themselves. So there you go. I hope this was helpful. Please comment below if you have any questions about how to take care of your flute. Or anything else I didn't cover today, and I could do it in a future video. But anyway, wishing you well, and I hope your flutes stay really clean and dry this week. Bye!